As spawning in the top left-hand corner of At Attorney's Edge, we have the red Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss representing onside. It is Zoun. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg player himself representing Stony Balls. It is YoungYakov. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Let's go. Let us go. Welcome on all to At Attorney's Edge. This is a bit of a larger map of the map pool. It has two different ways to approach the map itself. You can expand here on the low ground, some more open bases heading towards the would-be gold expansion here on the low ground as well. Otherwise, you can expand on the high ground, close to rush distance to your opponent, push towards them, and take high yield gases instead into a more tech-heavy start, into something more aggressive. So you do have kind of two different ways to approach this if you wish. For the most part, though, we do expect players to expand in a more linear and a more safer fashion, I should mention. We'll keep an eye on our players. Let's go. Let us go. As I mentioned previously, we've been seeing a lot of Twilight Council heavy play over the past week. Again, the patch has been live for around a week at this point. So we've been seeing a lot of heavy Twilight Council plays. Speaking of a lot of Glaive Adepts, 8-gate Blink All-Ins, or rushing into Sky Toss. I think a good example of that is MaxPax. Last night, in the Void TV Monday, MaxPax, he was playing non-stop, just mass Stargate into Void Ray, into Phoenix, into Void Ray, into Sky Toss, against Solar, with mixed success, to be fair. Going back to 2020, essentially, just going Void Ray openers and just mass Sky Toss. That's one of the approaches that some of the top Protoss players have been doing. So I think of MaxPax, Hero's doing the same, Classic as well. Hero did something different though. I preferred Hero's style of rushing Mothership, where he goes for a Mothership rush instead of going into mass Mass Phoenix. But has a similar idea for sure. Hero's builds seemed a little bit more crisp and a little bit more creative for sure. We'll see. It's been a week. As for now, hatch gas full, standard open out of YoungYakov. Likewise, Zoun is soon to be getting into his own tech based on the pylon placement. Looks like a Stargate opener out of Zoun. For the side of YoungYakov, we're just expecting standard play into a third base in towards the mid game. That's when we can start to get aggressive here, getting into 3-base saturation, into laying Hydra. If we can play safe and going to Roaches as well, I would recommend safe builds and going into Roach play, just because we've been seeing so much Glaive Adepts. But I'm getting ahead of myself, as it is going to be the initial Stargate opener first. Now, the first thing that we're going to be waiting for here as we open up Stargate into a third is the timing of the Twilight Council. Based on that timing and based on whether or not we get the Forge, that'll tell us if we're going into Blink or into Glaives or into earlier charge. So we'll keep an eye on Zoun. Otherwise, we are settling in. Adeptos threaten the shade. Keeping tabs here on Yakov. Yakov does actually stay in gas. Okay, so link speed stays in gas. Is going to be the Void Ray opener. With this, Zoun can hide his build. He can hunt down the Overlords and deny vision. This doesn't mean that it has to be a rush into a second Stargate into Sky Toss, or it doesn't have to be like a Twilight Council into Glaives, but it can be. The thing here, of course, is that YoungYakov is going to have to guess as to what's coming his way. Or he'll have to fight a little bit and work a little bit harder to piece together what exactly is going on. Ooh, Adept say commit to the shade. Yeah, it does commit in. Queen getting in position. And so far, no economic damage. It's going to be Void Ray into Oracle. The Overlord does try to get the scout off. Heads in, fails the scout, so the Oracle is coming. And Yakov may be tempted to skip. I was going to say to skip spores. He already has one spore in the main base. No spore at the natural, but there are 2 queens. As long as he's in position, he should keep up with the Oracle. Should. Meanwhile, that is a Twilight Council before 3rd expansion. So early Twilight Council, early tech, early aggression. Once again, as you mentioned, we are waiting to see if we go for a Forge. 2 more gateways get thrown down as well. So we're getting up to 4 gateways here in total. This can still be Blink, but otherwise we're expecting Glaive Adepts. Is it Glaives? Is it Blink? Show us what you got. Regardless, it is going to be hyper aggressive just because there is no Forge alongside this. We're not really thinking further ahead. We're rushing Hydras? Oh god. He's crazy. Very fast. I was curious what the early gas income was for. Fast layer into a very fast Hydra then. 2 base Hydra to YoungYakov, no third in sight. That's kind of crazy. Glaive ups are coming, by the way, and I think Zoun may just kill. As we mentioned before, like the lack of forward screams Glaive Adepts. We've been seeing, and I alluded to this at the start of the series, we've been seeing a lot of Glaive Adepts here in this patch to end the game early. But because we're not going for a safety Roach Warren or a safety Bailey Nest, it's going to be a Ling Hydra defense. Adepts can just fight this head up, like straight up. They can just fight it. They can just overwhelm. So this is going to be a very messy defense here from YoungYakov, especially considering this is off of 2 bases, so the army's going to be smaller as well. We'll see. We'll see. It will come down to the engage. It will come down to the initial surround and how, if we can catch the adepts or not. For now, we do have our regular adepts applying pressure. Behind this, going to Phoenixes, second Stargate into Sky Toss. So we're seeing everything that the meta has kind of evolved into. I mentioned earlier that in PvZ, we're typically seeing either like hyper aggressive all-ins, which begins with Glaive Adepts, or we see like just Sky Toss, and we have both here, which we're not really too used to seeing, to be fair. Third base is going to be denied. Dallas Force I cancel. Dallas Force I cancel, and Yakov is being forced into an all-in essentially. Again, no third expansion this late in the game is crazy. It's crazy, pappy. Left side busts into the mineral line, catching out 5, 6, 7 drones. Oh, this is getting out of hand. Yeah, it's getting out of hand. And again, Zoun is setting up defensively, warping in more adepts, building up more phoenixes, and here comes the all-in from YoungYakov. Again, has been forced into an all-in, no third base inside. It's all or nothing. And is this going to be enough? How many do we have? 16 Hydras. I mean, Phoenixes won't help. Like, this is dead supply, to be honest. Like, these Phoenixes, what are they going to do? Lift up 1 Hydra at a time? Like, so the Phoenixes are dead supply. It's going to be purely an adept defense with the batteries. Cybercore goes down. No more adepts. Ooh, massive pickup. This might just be too much. He can't warp in. Yeah, no. Oh my god, the Baileys, they connect. No splits whatsoever. Insane connections. And YoungYakov has done it. He has broken the third base. Ay, ay, ay. The Baileys, they got the juiciest connections possible, and with that, the 2-base all-in is working. He stutter steps in, depowers the gateways. Again, there's still no Cybercore anyway. Adepts, they do get across. Jesus, oh my god, 3 adepts, they kill everything. A handful of adepts do get across the map and will kill the entire mineral lines. That does complicate things a little bit, but the main army cannot be stopped. So the main army cannot be stopped. As I mentioned, Phoenixes that did supply, they do not help. They don't help, Bappy. They do nothing. Shout out to the MVP triple adept, by the way, as they're still wreaking havoc. Like, they're still target firing as well. Like, it's crazy. Again, this army should still kill. GG gets called, and YoungYakov takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Yakov, he will take a lead in the series. I do have to be a little bit critical here of Zoun. So Zoun's build made more sense, but if you remember, he scouted the Hydra Den. Zoun, when he shaded in with his first couple of adepts, he saw the Hydra Den. Like, he was aware of that, but he still made Phoenixes behind it, which is what weirded me out. Like, I was a little bit confused, being aware of the Hydra tech that was building up and still going mass Phoenix. And of course, he forced the 2-base all-in as well, as he was denying the third. So it was an interesting tech choice, but it did hurt YoungYakov. Sorry, it hurt Zoun more than anything, right? As opposed to having like a robo, with immortal production or extra gateways, extra warp bins, or anything else. Unfortunately, he was stuck producing units that were not going to help in the defense, and with that, GG well played. In the end, Yakov just snowballed out of control, was able to break on through, and with that, Yakov takes a lead in the series. Let's go. Let us go. As we are loading into game 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the red Protoss player representing Onside Gaming down to the series. Can he bounce back and make a series out of this? It is Zoun. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player. The blue Zerg player representing Stouty Bulls. It is YoungYakov. Let's go. Let us go. Made 10 adepts and sold to double Stargate when he scouted Hydras. Yes, as we mentioned, like, Zoun, he saw the Hydra Den, he was aware of the Hydras, but not just that, he was also aware of the low base count because he was actively denying the third, right? So like he was aware of the low economy, low base count, and the tech as well, but still made the decision to go into Phoenixes, which was a little bit odd. It felt like it felt a little bit like Zoun had an idea as to what he wanted to do in the game when it came to his overall build, and he just kind of like stuck to it regardless of scouting. So he just kind of like dismissed what he was seeing and still just committed to the build anyway. It was a little bit tunnel visiony there from Zoun. Tunnel vision a little bit too much, and a little bit too rigid in his play, if you will. A little bit too rigid. But here we go. We're getting into game 2. Loading into game 2 here. So far it is going to be once again a hatch gas pool out of YoungYakov, and we'll see what Zoun has up his sleeve this time. Once again, we're expecting something quirky, so maybe Stargate opener into Glaives again, and this time into a heavier commitment into Glaives, or we could see Stargate into Fleet Beacon, into Mothership Rush, charge based all-ins, heavy commitment to like a 3 base like blink based all-in. We'll see what Zoun has up his sleeve for game 2. Let's go. Because already game 1 like exceeded my expectations. Like I was concerned he was going to play standard, but no, he spiced things up in a pretty crazy way. For better or for worse. A little spicy at least. You missed down E in the end. Oh, you mean Stanier? Stanier balls? Ah, look, I just... What do you want from me? Whatever. For now, we're just going to be building on up. From here, getting to a tech of choice. Based on the pylon placement, looks like a Stargate opener out of Zoun. We'll keep an eye on him, of course. Likewise, Yakov, he this time pulls out a gas. If you recall, last time, Yakov stayed in gas, which is what led into the fast hydrogen. Fast layer. I still want to bring us back here to YoungYakov's build. Remember, Yakov was not playing standard. He stayed in gas after getting link speed. I noticed he only had like 9 workers on low ground, and he got into a very fast layer into 2 base hydra. Like, it was crazy. Like Yakov, he was also crazy last game, to be fair. Got scattered, but not standard. As there's that Stargate. This time YoungYakov going for much more standard third base timing, as this time he's not spending his workers mining gas. So this is looking a lot more normal from YoungYakov. Now, if it is going to be a little bit more normal, welcome to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock is a very small map in the map pool. Short rush distance by ground, aggression is favored on this map, and the third base and fourth base locations are much more open and accessible. What we have seen be very successful from Zerg players, even in the previous patch, is 3 base all-ins, referring to cutting workers at 66, at around 66 workers, then you just commit with either Ling Hydra or Roach Ravager, and even German taxis have been mixed in as well on this map. So that is going to be a viable option here for YoungYakov, and we'll see what he does decide to go for. For now, we're expecting just droning, saturation, and then we'll see the tech of choice. And it is going to be a safety. Oh, I say safety. Hidden Roach Horn here behind the main base. Okay. So Hidden Roach Horn at a YoungYakov. Now we know it's going to be more Roach heavy. Meanwhile, Stargate into a third. This time it's a third base before the tech of choice. Last game it was tech first. This time expansion first. So greedy build out of Zoun. Oh, nice damage with the Oracle. Punishing Queens being out of position. Roach Horn has yet to be scouted. I mentioned German taxi earlier, and whoa, okay. I was about to say. He's crazy. Does cancel Burrow in the end. I was about to freak out. Roach production has begun. No lair in sight. This is looking like a hatch tech all-in. Third base just for lava. This is just for lava. No drones, no saturation, only lings and roaches, and the all-in will come across the map. Oracles, they poke in, they're going to be deflected, and Zoun still has not scouted the main base. Zoun still has no idea. And here comes the all-in. Yeah, here comes the all-in. Zoun is playing blind. Behind this, the third base is under fire. Twilight Council gets thrown down, and oh, no gateways? Only 2? Late gateways here, and likewise late tech of choice. Blink is on the way with 2 gateway setups. We can warp in 2 units at a time. Okay, let's go. Roaches get spotted, the all-in is coming, and we'll see if Zoun can hold. We'll see if Zoun can survive. Yakov moves in, collapsing on the Adepts. Will shut them down. Some of them do shade away though. Nice control. Batteries, they're still not yet done. The Oracles, they're going ham here, doing what they can. They do focus down the Lings. But the Stalkers, they still do fall. The army does break through. The Oracles, they're doing so much damage here from the sky. Triple Oracle, they'll focus everything down eventually. And I don't think there are enough roaches. Yeah, there's not enough on the ground. Probes are starting to fall though. Getting to 7, 8 probe kills. But Zoun will hold. Again, the MVP Oracles, they kill everything, baby. They kill everything. And with that, Zoun, he does hold, does survive behind this. YoungYakov, he was droning up heavily behind this, getting up to 55 workers and going for the lair as well. So in the end, YoungYakov, he was able to force a reaction, force out all these batteries, get some economic damage done, trade with the army as well, and disrupt the build. I say disrupt the build, all these gateways are late. The gateways are late, the forge is late, +1 is late. So Zoun, his build has been disrupted quite heavily. And the supplies are close for now, but that's only because YoungYakov has been droning the entire time. Soon he can start army production. He can soon start his army. The Oracles do have a lot of potential though. Okay, we can just focus on the Spore. We can fight the Queens. Oracles that make the way towards the 3rd. Going for the stasis. Oh, nice reaction by Yakov. Does react well. No drone kills, denying mining here at the gas. Queens, they try to respond. There's no creep connecting the bases, so a bit of an awkward response here from Yakov. Oh no! It was 1, 2, 3 drones. 3 drones go down, and Zoun, he is rushing into the fleet beacon, rushing into Sky Toss. Now, Zoun did go for a bit of a gateway explosion, so he can now start to be active with Blink Stalkers. He needs to be active to buy time, to distract, to trade with the army, while embracing the mothership and embracing something greater. I believe this should just be a mothership rush. Only 1 Stargate. Yeah, he's going for charge, so it's going to be a gateway composition alongside the mothership. Stalkers, they poke in. Hydras are amassing. They have no upgrades. As Lings, they tend coming from behind. Oh, the Queens! Yeah, late reaction there by Yakov. 1 Queen does go down. Gets 1. Gets 2. As he goes, catching out 2 Queens, catching out Hydras. The space is going to fall. And again, Yakov, he still needs more time to build up his army. Yeah, cannot engage. Not like this. And if given time, Zoun, he can start to snowball out of control, right? The mothership has begun. Charge is going to be kicking in. Like, Zoun is in this game, for sure, 100%. If not even winning this game. Like, I would argue that Zoun has the better economy at the moment. Stronger economy for Zoun. Fourth base is spotted. Zoun attempted to move out. Temptations there. Storm is on the horizon. Oh, Yakov is teching. I wasn't sure if he would. Considering just how delayed Yakov has been, losing his 4th base, it's a big delay here for Yakov. His growth has been stifled quite heavily. Is deciding to tech up Infestation Pit into Hive Tech, droning as well. This means that Zoun will be able to get into Charge, +2, and Storm. Like, all this tech will be able to kick in. So Zoun is building up into the mid game. He's getting there. Meanwhile, YoungYakov is taking up in towards Lurker Tech. Hive on the way, Lurkers, Hive Tech Lurkers on the horizon. Who do we favor here? So there is going to be a bit of a power spike with Lurker Tech. That is true, but at the same time, we already have Tempest in production. It's only 1 Stargate, so it's a bit of a slow transition into Tempest and into Sky Toss. Because of that, like, it's hard to really judge like how hard it's going to hit and when it's going to hit. Until then, Lurkers can try to buy time. Assuming that Zoun stays defensive. As he still has to wait for Storm. Lurker Den is almost done. I would usually say that there's a window in time here where Zoun can try to break out and try to kill YoungYakov before Hive Tech Lurkers, before the Hive upgrade's complete. That is true, but again, I don't know if Zoun really wants to push at the moment. As he's getting a second Stargate, more Tempest. YoungYakov is maxed out. Now, bearing in mind that he may be maxed, but he is stuck with some inefficient army supply or some inflated supply with all these roaches, right? There's still a lot of roaches from the early to mid game, so the supply does lie. The soup is lying to you, pappy. Moves in. Snipes the Cybercore. This army should be shut down. To get the Cybercore at least. Be turned away. So Rumbai will distract the main army. Lurkers are trying to push in. Ooh, a little bit messy control here by Yakov. He wants to push in. He wants to go for the fourth base. At the same time, though, he will lose drones. Yeah, messy here from Yakov. Drones are going down. Heavy losses. He thought that he had left some supply to defend. Storm connects. Does get the expansion, though, but is it worth it? Oof. As Yakov, he loses lurkers. Oof, massive storm on the army. And we will trigger a counterattack. This should trigger a counterattack here as Zoun, he dominates the fight. 21 drone kills across the map. That one Zellarumbai killing so many workers over a mineral line, and that might just be too much. Here comes the main army. Zoun, he counterattacks. He's built up his High Templar, his Storm, got a couple of Tempest. And Yakov has to defend with purely Roach Hydra. A very mid-tier army. So again, Yakov down in supply, down in quality of army is maybe a better way of putting it. So I'll say move in. Sounds still rotating. Just clearing up all the creep, securing the map. There is one Viper, so we can try to abduct. I say try to because obviously we can counter feedback. Oh, yeah, yes. Yakov, he attempts to dive. He attempts to dive in. At this point, Zoun's built up his Death Bull of an army. He's got his Death Bull. Nice abductions, so let's get a Tempest. Ooh, oh god, no, no! Delta State of the Storms, they soften up the army. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, brutal storm. And we can see Yakov, he's still trying to drone. He's still droning up to around 80 workers, trying to reach peak saturation. Again, very late. Switching to Corruptors. Now, what I will say is that Zoun was surprisingly passive there. After knocking down this base, Zoun backed off, he rotated, cleared creep, and then went back home. I do think that he could have rotated over towards this southern base and knocked down another fourth, or kept pushing into the natural to force a bad fight. Remember, there are no lurkers, there's only one Tempest, so I do think that Zoun's passivity here, or his, I say passivity, maybe just his lack of confidence, is giving YoungYakov the opportunity to build up, to max out, and to try to have a chance in this game to recover. It's still an uphill battle, very much so. Like, it's still mass Hydra, like, it's not ideal. Like, and thankfully, Zoun, he comes back. Yeah, he comes back, mass storms, Hydras, they cannot touch this army. Corruptors, they try to move in, nice flank, but there's a cloak. Cloak is activated. Zoun pulls away. Does pull away, and again, because of the time provided, YoungYakov has built up some Corruptors. Now he has some actual anti-air against the Skytoss army. Remember, there aren't that many Tempests. 4 Tempests, no other Skytoss units. A lack of lurkers is brutal, though. Yeah, drones are going down. 19 drone kills. Ay, ay, ay. Storm with the Roach Hydra. Another base falls. Yakov just still cannot engage. Yeah, desperation here out of YoungYakov. We won't find any damage here. And I think there's only one lurker? Yeah, it's literally one lurker. There's a revelation. Don't be scared, pappy. Don't be scared. You can do it. Catching at the Corruptors. They move in a little bit too soon. Storm on the Hydras. Army rotates. We have the one lurker moving in. Oh, Hydras are coming from behind. We attempt to surround. Best case scenario here for YoungYakov. He surrounds with the Hydras. I believe there's no more storms. Yeah, no more storms. The Scourge's army does crumble. And again, the best fight that YoungYakov could have hoped for. He will barely clean this up. The one lurker survived, by the way. The one lurker. Let's go. Again, the best fight they could have hoped for is Zealots. They still overwhelmed. They still overwhelm the Zealots. Zoun still breaks through. It's still too much. And with that, YoungYakov, his economy is just crumbling. It's just crumbling here before the mass charge lots. 8 more drones going down. Zoun, he has 80 workers behind this, getting another expansion up and running as well. Yakov, he survived, but there's not much behind this. Oh. Yo, that one lurker is still alive, by the way. It's just let's fast across the map. Got 4 more lurkers morphing in. Yakov remaxed on 13 Hydras, 6 Roaches. There are a couple of extra lurkers which can help. They'll snipe with a Tempest. True. Gets 1 Tempest. Trying to bait out the storms. Lurker's going to be moving in. There is no detection. And lurkers, they do get on top of the High Templar. Oh my god! The High Templar going to be going down. That's what, 3 Templar falling. He gets 4. Can we get 5? He can. One Templar left. And no storm, and no show. YoungYakov, he's trying to break through. He still can't touch the Tempest. But he's fighting as best he can. Ah, no. Yeah, he's doing what he can here. He's out of anti-air. He's out of anti-air. GG gets called. And Zoun, he will tap the series 1-1. We're going to the ace match. GG. GG, well played. A very messy kind of finale here to the game. Again, very, very messy. Zoun, he had built up his Death Wolven army quite early on. I still stand by the idea of Zoun maybe finding more damage earlier, but he was playing very tentatively, if you will, playing very safe. It did give YoungYakov the opportunity to max out and to build up into Corruptors. And again, as we mentioned, we saw the best fight that we could have hoped for YoungYakov, where he surrounded the army with a full 360 surround of Hydras. The best he could have hoped for still wasn't enough, still lost the fight. Hydras still broke through, still killed workers. That's all that YoungYakov had. GG, well played. I should say that the lead up to that, of course, was just really brutal. Specifically the 4th base. If you remember, the 4th base was heavily delayed for YoungYakov, and his 3 base saturation was solid, but his 4th base was very delayed. He tried to double expand. He was losing a lot of workers. It was just a very shaky mid game there from YoungYakov, and never really got the ball going. GG. With that, we're getting into the ace match. Going to be loading into game number 4. Let's go. Only 4 kills, yeah. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of the Old Sun Temple, we have the red Protoss player. We have the red Protoss. We have the South Korean Protoss representing onside. It is Zoun. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Zerg player. The blue Zerg player himself, representing Stony Bulls. It is YoungYakov. Let's go. Let's go. I see in the chat, a new patch, old maps. That is incorrect. So welcome to the Old Sun Temple. The Old Sun Temple is one of the newer maps in the map pool, a 4-player spawn map. You can spawn in top left, top right, bottom left, or bottom right. So 4 possible spawn locations. To help with scouting, though, we do have some speed zones. Speed zones in the center of the map. This does help with worker scouting. We'll see if our players can find each other, as YoungYakov does scout the top right-hand corner first with the Overlord. And we'll see if the probe does head out. But yes, I should clarify that the RSL does use a custom map pool voted on by Patreon. So if you want to help influence the maps of the RSL, you can do so via their Patreon. Their patrons do vote on what maps to add and what maps to remove. So that's why if you look at the map pool for RSL, it's a little bit more unique. Has some new maps, has some old maps, have some TLMC maps that never made it to the ladder, for example. It has its own map pool that's been constructed over time. So voted on by their patrons. Roach Queen all in? No, it was not a German taxi. Remember, there was no lair, which is why it was not a Roach Queen all-in. There was no lair. It was a Hatch Tech all-in with a Ling Roach. No queens. See, Trap is back. If you missed YoungYakov last week, we were casting Trap. He did compete in YoungYakov, which is a big offline event happening in China. And we did take note of it earlier, but it is exciting to see that after YoungYakov last week, Trap, he signed up for this qualifier. Now, does this mean that Trap is actually returning to competitive play? I don't think so. I think it's too soon to really say that with any certainty. For those who remember, the reason why he retired, it was relatively recently, like last year, is because Trap is a pappy. He's a pappy. Trap, I believe he has a baby daughter who's now like a year old, I think. But he retired to, you know, look after his family, to start a family, I should say, even as well. To step into the next phase of his life. So whether he's playing just for fun or whether he intends to return, hard to say at the moment. Hard to say with Trap. But this is a sign of that, and we'll see if he signs up for more Open Cups or more tournaments throughout the course of the next couple of weeks. So is Trap back? Maybe. is the short answer. Maybe. We'll see. For now though, Stargate opener out of Zoun. Yakov does finally find the location here of Zoun as well, with said Overlord. Does find him, Hatchgas pool, droning up back at home. Kid is 1 year old. He can take care of himself. True. Anyway, where Silky versus Maru is shown, that should be casted over on Ryung's channel. Ryung is casting in Korean. So I believe Ryung is casting Maru's matches because they're teammates, of course. And I think Shin is casting some matches as well in Korean. So there should be 2 other Korean streams, Ryung and Shin, on their respective channels. Otherwise, a Void Ray opener out of Zoun. Hunts down the Overlord. And we'll see if Zoun goes into Glaive Adepts again, if he rushes in towards second Stargate. Whether we play standard. I mean, especially because we have diagonal spawns, by the way. I should emphasize that. Due to cross spawns, we could try to rush into Skytoss. Like, the idea of being more defensive and building up into that later tech army is now much more viable for Zoun, because it's going to be harder for YoungYakov to all in him, to try to kill him early. So we do have long rushes and spike rounds. Eyes are on Zoun. As it is going to be lair first here by Yakov. Does open up with the lair. Void Ray does hit the third. Queens, they attempt to respond. I believe we do have adepts coming towards the left-hand side at the same time. And we'll see if Yakov can keep up. Can he keep up? Adepts take third in the shade. Drones are going to start going down. Getting 1. Just 1. Nice around here. Nice engage. Yeah, one drone does full. Adepts gets routed. Void Ray deflected, and Yakov is holding. Oh, can he get a kill? Not quite, barely. No, there's no queen in the main, but despite that, Yakov, he will still hold, still defend, and the Oracle barely escapes with 1 HP. The 1 HP Oracle. Ay. The Void Ray, does not get away, so Zoun does overextend. Massive pickoff. I believe the Void Ray killed 1 Overlord. Only 1 Overlord, so not worth it there for Zoun. And it does overextend and does fly too close to the sun there. Behind this, going for the earlier Twilight Council into earlier Blink into a late Forge. Okay, so later Forge here tells us that Zoun, he will be able to be active and aggressive early on with Blink to apply pressure to the 4th base. And we'll see what he can get done. At the same time, no battery. Yeah, no battery to defend. Oracle's out of position, racing back home, which means Adepts will go down, losing 1, 2, 3 Adepts, and even probes. Yeah, some heavy losses here for Zoun. Ay. Whole position micro on the Lings, catching out 3 probes. Pulls away behind this, going for the Spire. Going into Mutatech. So Lingbane Muta out of YoungYakov. Checking Yakov's vision, he did see the Twilight Council follow-up. He is aware. Remember, Blink is going to be done earlier than normal, but it's a shaky early game here from from Zoun. It's been very shaky. Losing the Void Ray, losing Adepts, losing probes. The early game has been disrupted, and the mutas will get up and running unscouted as well. On the one hand, we will have plenty of Blink Stalkers to help keep up with Muta play, that is true, but at the same time, because of lack of scouting and lack of vision, because there's only one Oracle, remember it was a Void Ray opener into Oracle, so less Oracles to scout and to get vision of what's going on, and it's also 1 HP, so he doesn't want to risk going too far in. It means that there won't be any stack defense in the mineral lines, right? It means the natural and the main base is going to be more exposed. Here comes a Fleet Beacon. We mentioned earlier the idea of rushing into Skytos makes more sense based on the spawn locations, but it's still been a shaky start, and we'll see if Zoun can get away with it. We'll see. +1 flyer attack is on the way. Hydrogen as well. Interesting. Zoun does scout the Hydrogen at least. And here come the mutas. Jesus. Yeah, Zoun, he will not confirm. The fake out Hydrogen. Let's go. And mutas are amassing. Mutas are amassing that potential here to deal critical damage. Just like last game, it's going to be Mothership first, then into a ground army, into like a delayed, like slower transition into Tempest, is my imagining here. Yep, just like last time. Charge into Storm. But how many worker losses will Zoun sustain once the mutas arrive? Show us the mutas. Yakov, he does start to move out. Unlike last game, Yakov, he's actually on a 4-base economy. He's on 4 bases, taking his gases, droning. Despite getting early blink, Zoun hasn't really been able to apply much pressure with these Blink Stalkers. Yeah, not much. Now he knows. Yeah, now he sees, now he knows. Mutas are revealed. Now it's go time. There's a recall back home. Yeah, it does recall. Cannons are being thrown down. Mutas make their way into the main. Stalker's trying to keep up. We rotate back down to the 3rd. Blink is on cooldown. No! Blink is on cooldown. They're stuck in the main base. Not much damage here yet. So Lings, they do go for the cannons, actually. Yeah, the Oracle goes down and gets one. Banelings, they roll in. Oof. Cleric can be activated. And the 3rd base is safe. Nice timing here with the Mothership. And so far, no major damage yet with the mutas, but the 4th base is exposed. It does head over. Go for the expansion. And should force a cancel. Yeah, should force a cancellation. Cloak does run out. There's a cancel. Stuck on 3 bases. Mutas, they have to respect the Archons. They gotta respect them. Oh, what the... Was he moving forward? Yeah, some awkward control. A little bit awkward out of YoungYakov. Lings amassing here on the top side. And still nothing major. Lings, they do threaten to dive. Nice warp in. Does warp in time. Mutas into the main. Behind this, corrupted production has begun. And we're diving on the Fleet Beacon. Okay. Yeah, denying Annual Pulse Crystals. Denying Phoenix Range. Phoenix Range is denied. Banelings, they roll in. No reaction. Ooh, no reaction. Massive connections here. 8 probes go down. 1 more Baneling is all we needed. Automass. Yeah, just 1 more Baneling. Despite that, still nice damage. Mutas, they make their way over. Cloak is activated. Cloak does save the mineral line. But again, Zoun is struggling. And Yakov is maxed. He's maxed out. He's going to be remaxing with Hydra Tech. Okay. Mixing in a couple of Hydras, a couple of Corruptors. I would argue that Yakov should be looking to trade as best he can to make use of this army. Jesus, Yakov is on 94 drones. Oh my god. I was curious. I was like, why is the army so small? Ah, I see. 94 workers. I would say at this point it's hurting Yakov more than helping him. Yakov pulls away. Pulls away, setting up for the flank. The scary thing here for Zoun is that because the map is so large, and because of specifically the spawn locations, it means that Yakov can take a fight and take a bad fight as well, and there won't really be a counterattack to threaten him, right? Like, it'll take too long to counterattack and to get across the map. By the time Zoun does, Yakov can remax. Banelings, they roll in. They catch up the ground army. Decent trades. Cleric is activated. Defensive main army. At the same time, Mutas, they hit for the mineral line. They hit the mineral line. Probe's going to be going down. Zoun is being pulled apart. And Zoun will clean up this army, but as we mentioned, because it just takes so long to get across the map, Yakov can just remax. He can just remax, rebuild, he'll be fine. He has 94 probes, puppy, 94 drones. Of course he can remax. Yeah, Zoun, he's all in. At this one, he's all in. F2ing across the map. What else can he do? We're gonna just send it. Oof. Cloak is on cooldown. Slow zone is not. True. There's that slow zone. Again, it's all or nothing with Zoun. This is his moment. This is it. It's time. As everything does race back home to defend. Jesus, the cooldown on Cloak is insane. Like, he's Music trying to come in from behind. Music gets shut down by the Archons. Oh my god. So many Archon shots going off. And do we have enough here for the Protoss? Oh, Mothership falls. Some more Stalkers coming in. Zoun is gaining ground. Remember earlier how we were like, hey, the high drone count is hurting Yakov? It is. Like, it as Yakov knows, he has 13 Hydras on the way. He needs more time. He needs more time. Zoun, he breaks the expansion. He's close. He just has to keep going. The longer this goes on, the better it is for YoungYakov, but Zoun has the bigger army. Straight up. He has the bigger army. Has a larger force. YoungYakov is in trouble. He's in trouble. Oh. As Banelings didn't quite connect. Yeah, a little bit messy here by YoungYakov. He will lose every single drone. 26 drones going down. Banelings, they do smash into Zealots at least, but Zoun has done it. Yeah, Zoun has done it. Breaks through the main army. Again, the remax was not in time. And it wasn't enough of a remax either. And with purely Zealots, Zoun can do it. And again, this could have gone either way. It was close, it was clutch. But Zoun will overwhelm. We got the boys there. We got GG. GG. And Zoun, he will claim the series 2-1. He will advance on to a qualifying match. GG. GG, well played. Zoun, he will advance on. Again, YoungYakov, he was playing that very well. He was playing it well. He was crippling Zoun. He was knocking down bases, crippling the economy, and he forced Zoun into the all-in. As I mentioned, YoungYakov, he had 94 drones. He had a heavy drone count, which meant that he had a smaller army as a result. He had so much supplies spent in workers, a smaller army as a result, and he could not defend, could not hold on. GG. GG, well played. With that, Zoun will claim the series, and now we're getting into the qualifying match. Zoun in good shape, as I said. If you're implying that was an easy series from Zoun, you're insane. Very impressive play by YoungYakov, I would say. Typically, I would favor Zoun over YoungYakov, and I would say there was like a bigger gap in skill, even if you will. But here, like, this was a very close series, and definitely a world where YoungYakov takes down Zoun instead. But GG. GG, well played. Zoun does claim it. And I believe that leads us into a PvP qualifying match. Let's go.